June 4th, the government announced a ban on travel from 12 countries. The government has stopped, as of now, the interviews. The match should not be impacted. You should absolutely have minimum three US LORs, US clinical experiences.
Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to our channel. We are so excited here at USMLE Sarthi to guide you on your match journey. I am Shayla, the VP of Student Success, and with me here I have Pawan. Pawan, how are you doing?
Very good, Shayla. Glad to be back and in a new season.
Yes, time goes by quickly. We haven't done these in a while, so it's good to be back.
Yep.
June, I can't believe we're already a week into June 2025, getting ready for the 2026 match season. We have less than 4 months to go. One of the big topics this year that seems to be causing some uncertainty and some doubts is the visa situation. So there's been some changes. What has been going on?
So, yes, I think this is one of the biggest changes post-COVID that we have seen. So, one, of course, just 2 days ago, June 4th, the government announced a ban on travel from 12 countries, and we have a list that we can share. We posted it on Instagram also. So if you are from one of those 12 countries, if you're traveling on any visa, B1, B2, coming in on J visa, etc., that travel is banned. So you will have issues. And then there are 7 other countries where there is a partial ban on travel to US. So that is a big thing. The other thing on visas is the government has stopped, as of now, the interview. So if you had, say, a J1 interview in your US embassy in your country or somewhere, the government has stopped those interviews for now worldwide because they want to include social media vetting as part of that due diligence process. So whether you're coming on B1, B2 or J1, etc., that has been stopped for now, but we expect those interviews to commence soon, and the people who already have the visa interviews should not have a problem if they are not from one of those 12 and 7 countries. So that should be not an issue. So, but I think all this does bring in a lot of uncertainty to the IMGs for sure.
Yeah, really crazy. So thanks for keeping us up to date. So I guess the big question is, should IMGs still go ahead with this journey? Should they still be applying?
So I think the only silver lining in this is that we've been here before. So there was some ban in 2018-19 from some countries. There was COVID when there was a big issue with travel. No one could travel. So at least we know typically what happens during these times. Programs become very flexible. They become very open to tele-rotations, research which is remote. Programs are eventually trying to fill the spots, right? Healthcare is a priority sector. And we all know that IMGs are a core part of the residency system and physician system here. So overall, I think it should not be impacted. The match should not be impacted. IMGs will still continue to match. Yes, there will be this impact on some people unable to travel. Therefore, maybe tele-rotations is the way out. Remote research is the way out. But absolutely, if you can't travel or if you are already in the US on whatever visa, I think those students will be at an advantage till this thing resolves. So if you are in the US, you can do rotations or even otherwise programs will be more open to you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, I'm glad you brought up virtual rotations and research because we will talk about that in a little bit here. But let's go to June. Here we are in June. How do I make the most of the next 3-4 months? How do I make sure that nothing gets missed on the match journey?
So I think this is a good time because June, the ECFMG released the calendar, for the match season 2026. So let me share this screen. So first, of course, is the pathways. Now, ECFMG has not yet released when the pathways will open. There are 6 pathways, pathway 1 to 6. They should be opening anytime now. Most of the IMGs will be eligible for pathway 1, but of course it depends. So that pathway application should open soon. But let's go over this, the calendar. That is the first thing you should all be aware of. It is now live. So June 24th is the D-Day when you can actually buy the ERAS token as an IMG, start uploading your LORs, your documents, and pretty much work through your application, the ERAS application, personal statement, etc. September 3, the other important date is when you can actually start submitting your ERAS application. However, remember that programs will not view your application on September 3rd. It is only on September 24th that programs at 9 a.m. Eastern will have access to your applications. A lot of times we get this question, should I apply on September 3rd, 4th, or is there any difference? Number one, there is no difference because programs will only view it September 24th. Number two, a lot of students are finishing up their rotations. The LORs are not uploaded by September 3, so on and so forth. So take your time, do a good job. As long as you upload it before 9 a.m. September 24th, you should be in good shape. So these three dates are important: June 24, September 3, September 24. And then, of course, just to complete it, the rank order list deadline, which we'll talk about in later months, is March 4. The D-Day is March 17. March 17 is when you actually know, the Monday that you know if you matched or not. And then we can talk about other dates in subsequent months or later on, but these are the important dates: June 24, September 3rd, September 24th, and then of course March 17. So that's the calendar. All of you should be aware of these dates.
Perfect. Okay, definitely want to keep everything on track for that September 24th deadline. Okay, so we talked about pathways opening, purchasing the token, all of that through ERAS. So now we're on to LORs. Some students are getting their LORs now. They've completed or will be completing rotations. So how does that LOR submission work? Do they do it themselves?
So all LORs should be waived, and like we've discussed before also, you should absolutely have minimum three US LORs, US clinical experiences. Can be more for people who have older YOG. How does it work? You have to go, once the ERAS opens, once you buy the token, you have to go in the system, you have to request, and then the email comes to your preceptor or person you did your rotation with or research with, and that physician will have to upload your LOR. So that's how it is a waived LOR. So it all should be a waived LOR. You can start the process after June 24th.
Okay, perfect. Just to go with that, some students get asked to write their own LOR. Is it still waived? How does that work?
Yeah, so that's not the ideal situation, but there will be times when the preceptor is busy. They will say, either give me the bullet points or give me a draft and I'll change it, I'll upload it. So yes, they may ask you for a draft, and we have classes as part of our match plans. We have classes where we go step by step on what do programs look for in a strong LOR. If you're required to send a draft of the LOR, what should you do, how you should frame it. We've covered this and other aspects of the match in our classes, each and every aspect, including the LOR. But the point is, yes, sometimes program or preceptors can ask you for a draft of the LOR.
Okay, perfect. So for those students who don't have their rotations done yet, maybe we don't have rotations or research booked or still looking, can they still get opportunities before September? Let's talk a little bit about Kelly,
we still have 4 months, and they should be able to look for rotations, book rotations. In fact, we do have a lot of rotations which we provide. Let me just share my screen. The students can go directly to our website, residencymatch.usmlesarthi.com. This is the URL/rotations, and they can pick a specialty, they can pick even a state, type of rotations, tele or otherwise, and just search, and it comes to us. Once it comes to us, then we take about maximum 2 days to get back to you. So what you will have to do is you'll have to give us an approximate start date for each rotation here, and of course if you have any additional comments, we'll get back to you. But there are a lot of rotations which are available inpatient, outpatient setting across multiple specialties, and students can book it.
Perfect. Thank you for showing that. Can we just touch briefly on telerotations? Do those still have value?
So absolutely tele-rotations have value. And now again, given the visa situation, programs will be more flexible on tele-rotations. So the point is they are trying to see if you've taken the initiative. Now, some students, even in the US, they are working full time, they do tele-rotations, but especially if you cannot travel, there are financial issues. Programs have a lot of flexibility on that. There are various types of tele-rotations. Some tele-rotations have patient interaction also. Some are didactics. Some can be in the evening US time. Some can be during the patient hours, so 8 to 12, 12 to 5. So we have a variety of these tele-rotations, and I think they are still going to be useful this season.
Yeah, I get that question a lot, so it's good to know that tele-rotations do still count. Okay, I just have a couple more things I want to talk about for June, and that is getting the application ready. So one is the personal statement and the CV. When should students get started, and how does Sarthi help in that process?
So yes, so that's a good question. In terms of personal statement and CV, like I said, on June 24th, you will have access when you buy the token to your My ERAS. Both personal statement and CV take time. At this point, what the student should be doing is gathering experiences, gathering those stories, and then personal statement does take a couple of months, so don't expect to do it overnight. I think if you start in July gathering those experiences, stories like helping a difficult patient or a difficult family or things like that, your experiences, gathering those is good for this time at this point now. ERAS CV, same point. It's too early to actually start filling it up, but as long as you can gather the experiences, ERAS CV allows you up to 10 experiences, and these will change. How Sarthi helps as part of any of our plans. So let me again share my screen here. So those of you interested, here's our website. If you go to any of these plans, the platinum, gold, bronze plan, we do help step by step in the ERAS CV and PS. So how this works is it's not just one draft. So we have classes, individual classes, including those on the ERAS, CV, and PS, very detailed classes by our physicians, by our journalists that walk you step by step. Then there is a one-on-one review meeting with the physician where they sit down with you over Zoom. The PS and CV is also reviewed by the journalist. And then we have our closed Telegram group. So you can read all of this, personalized support, etc. The closed Telegram group is where you can ask questions, and our panelists will answer that as well. So there is a lot of help that we do in the ERAS, PS, and CV.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, the last point I want to touch on, and maybe we'll see if there's anything we missed, but that is program outreach, deciding where to apply, and then outreaching to those programs. When is it time to outreach? How much is too much?
All right. Yes. So again, a good point. Program outreach is very, very critical. Now, program outreach can be done in various ways. Emailing is obviously the most common one. There is also LinkedIn. There are conferences, right? So you can actually go to conferences to network. And we have separate classes on each one of those: how to use LinkedIn for networking, how to go to conference, what actually to do at a conference if you're not presenting in terms of networking, how to email a program or a program director or a coordinator, what to ask. Should you ask for rotations? Should you ask for something else? Should you mention your year of graduation? Should you mention if you have low scores? Things like that. So all what you can do, how emailing works. So networking is important. We cover each and every aspect of it. Then coming to your point about program lists. So yes, it is important to have a personalized program list that you can work off of. Now, programs are still updating their requirements. So maybe if you go to, so there are 3 or 4 sources to look at these program lists. One is FRIEDA, FRIEDA. Yes, I think that's the spelling. The other is Residency Explorer. And of course, there is Sarthi list also. You can go to Sarthi list. If you're a Sarthi student, you will be able to, get each and every detail about a specific program, how many of the Sarthi students interviewed there last year, name of the program director, etc. All of that will be available. And maybe next time we can give them a walkthrough of the program list. But yes, program list is also a very big networking tool.
Yes, great. I think that's awesome. And I think now is the time to start thinking about that too.
Absolutely.
Okay, those are my questions and kind of timeline for June. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
So I think just to wrap up, this is the time when you should be planning out the next 4 months, where all you are going to be doing the rotations, in maybe rest of June, July, August, till September 15th at least. Because remember, the applications are due September 24th. As long as you get an LOR down by September 15th, you should still be good to go. And a lot of our physicians will give you LORs in September also. So one is planning out your rotations. This is the time to do it. Second is research. Research is very, very important. You should be planning, regardless of the specialty. Every specialty needs research. So you should be planning at this point, manuscript or abstract. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And get it submitted by September 15th. So we do have research courses also if you're interested, but research is very important. Then plan if you need step 3. I'm not saying to take it in June, but if you need step 3, when do you need it? I think that's the other important thing to take care of.
Perfect. I'm glad you added those in. Thank you for your help today. Okay, I think that kind of wraps up our series. We're excited for everyone. Please do feel free to contact us if you're looking for more one-on-one personal guidance.
Yeah, and we will post this on YouTube. And like I said, Instagram, you can subscribe on our Instagram as well. And we'll be back, I guess, next month.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope that video provided valuable insights for your journey. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And check out our website for details on how we can guide you to a successful match.